We live on the island called Hispaniola, and this island is made up of two countries. On the one side, where we are right now, is the Dominican Republic. On the other side of the border is Haiti. There are not many islands in the world that are two countries. Saint Martin, Saint Martin are two countries. But this is a very unique island because of its relationship to Haiti. Jacques, you've been with us 13 years,
Yes,
and what's it like being with us here?
I'm Jack. I'm Jack Petit. I work for Neon Darling for 13 years. I'm invited you to come to Haiti to meet my family.
Yes, and this was a very unique experience when I traveled to Haiti. Jacques and I traveled by local transportation. Describe, well, we first took a gagua,
Yes,
then,
Motoconjo.
then,
We walk.
then,
We climb the mountain.
and what was unique is sort of, so we took a bus, we took a motorbike, a motor concho, we crossed a river, that big river. How many times did we end up crossing that river?
17 years.
Seven times.
Seven times.
Seven times we crossed this river. And sometimes we were up to our waist in water, and I'd put my hand on Jacques' shoulder to navigate my way across the river. This was maybe one of the most remote places I have been on land. And we spent hours. We left here at about 5:30 in the morning, and we didn't get back to your mom's house in what, midnight?
Midnight, yes.
Midnight.
Midnight.
And this walking sort of we were walking for hours in the dark in the river, crisscrossing from one bank to the other bank where Jacques had grown up, and then up this mountain, this steep mountain slope. Uh, and Jacques had gotten some folks to help carry bags so my hands could be free. And one of the greatest sounds, you remember that sound as we were maybe a half an hour from your mother's house,
I don't remember any.
was Landa.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Was Landa, his Jacques' daughter, and her two cousins, uh,
Mika
Mika and
and
Junior,
Junior.
coming running down the mountain because they were so excited that Jacques was coming home and he was bringing a guest. And when Jacques and I traveled, it was not, oh, Jacques works for me and he's here to take care of me. No, we traveled as two equals to experience Haiti through Jacques' eyes. And I wanted to see where he lived. And ever a foreigner show up? Was I the only foreigner ever to show up in that part of the mountain? Yeah, I don't think it's so remote. I don't think an outsider has been up there. You ever have any other guests besides me up there?
No, never.
You ever see
No,
somebody like
no, first time.
first time? And whilst we were up there, sort of what is also interesting was we got some major rain. And you remember how the river just exploded, and you had to go back to town to get some supplies.
Yes, yes.
And what did you say to me?
To stay in the house, I go with my mother to
I
learn new stuff.
I could not travel. It was so difficult and dangerous.
Yeah,
And it was even difficult for you and your mom
yeah,
because you didn't go the normal way. You went a different route
different, yes.
because the river had swollen so much. But what was interesting was in this time of experiencing Haiti through Jacques' eyes, I saw the poverty and I saw the challenges of the remoteness. For example, for Slanda, Ka, and Junior to go to school, it wasn't just simple, just go next door. How long would it take them to get to school sometimes?
Sometimes it take 30 minutes, 50 minutes.
30 to 50 minutes.
Uh,
But it's not just where they're walking down a country road.
uh,
They, how did they get to school? Because I think you went to the school. I couldn't get there that time.
so sometimes if we have big rain, they can go to the school.
And how often is the big rain? quite often you get big rain. So
Yeah.
often school is cancelled because again they have to cross the river to get to the school. And the other thing that was really interesting was we were we were hanging out with the kids, and one of the kids picked up a pipe and started blowing. What does that mean?
Really.
If somebody blows a horn, if somebody in the community blows a horn, what is that signaling? Somebody needs help.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And so we saw people carrying somebody the stretcher. And remember, when we were traveling back, you remember I asked you, where's the hospital? And you said it's a long ways
Yeah, yeah.
away.
Yeah.
And the family of the person who was heading to the hospital, they were carrying on a stretcher and they were calling with this horn. They were calling people to come and help, to
Yeah.
help carry. And they were sometimes walking, what, a few hours or sometimes a few days?
Yes, yes.
A few days just to get to the hospital. And these were the hospital was like more of a clinic versus a proper city hospital as in the West as we know hospital. And the family was actually traveling with the patient because one of the things they do is they cook. There isn't like where a hospital provides food. You have to actually cook for the for the patient, and so it's about a sense of community. So I want to bring Darlene in here in a moment to talk about her experience of traveling to Haiti and going to Limbe. I think you and I passed through
Yeah, yeah.
Limbe.
We go there.
Yes, we stopped in Limbe. And so, Darlene, sort of, you had that opportunity to go. Why did you go?
I did. I have my own experience in Haiti, going to Haiti in the spring of 1999. And that was before I met Neil, certainly before I met Jacques. And the reason I went to Haiti was I felt like I was doing opposites that year and I wanted to do something to give back. I had built a company, it was doing very well, but I felt like I needed to do something for other people to give back for the privilege that I had of building a company that was giving me such opportunity. So I went to Limbe, Haiti. I flew into Cap-Haïtien and then I took a bus to Limbe and I was at a hospital on the hospital grounds. And once I got to the hospital, I had a choice. I could work in triage, I could work in surgery, I could work in any aspect of the working departments within that hospital, but I chose to work with the orphan children, and there were about 25 orphan children. And that was an incredible
And I
experience.
think one of the things you saw a couple of deliveries.
Well, I assisted in a couple deliveries, and one baby was already had died within the mother's womb, so that child we knew was going to be a stillbirth. And the other woman was an active delivery in a room that was a very small room. There was not a lot of opportunities for comfort or for any type of issue. If there was something that might happen on the birth that would give the reason for a doctor or a nurse to be there. At times, I was the only person in that room. And so, working with the children and engaging with the Haitian people was such a rich, incredible experience for me. And when I went back to South Carolina, where I was living at that time in Charleston, uh, Neil was just finishing his around the world yacht race, and he burned down the home that he was living in that somebody had gifted to him. And there was a front page newspaper story of this man, Neil Peterson, that I'd never met or never heard of, that had just raced around the world 9 months, 27,000 miles, and lost everything in the fire pretty much that he had. And so I called up the Rotary Club, which was the opposite. I've never done that before, and offered to help rebuild his house. And that was August 7th when Neil and I met, when he called me and said, yes, you can help me by giving me a car, uh, by giving me a lift to go to the auto, um,
To pick up a new to pick
pick
up
up a
a
new car because he had blown the transmission in his car. So we met on August 7th and we were married on New Year's Eve of that year, the millennium. And
so okay, so this is now the 24 years that Darlene and I've been married. But in these 24 years, Darlene and I've had the chance to travel and see so much of the world and see the challenges that people face. She felt she did not have to go to a third world country to help. She could help somebody in her own community. And by her and I coming together and supporting each other, we've now been able to travel and be able to support Jacques and his family and help him now to educate his daughter. And Jacques has a newborn, and so another generation of young Haitians are coming up. But we have these immense challenges and struggles, and currently Haiti is in a major state of chaos because of what is perceived as gang violence, the assassination of Bozier, the former president of the country, and now Henry, who was not elected to power but assumed power in this vacuum. But Haiti has always had a very challenging history. It was the richest French colony uh, during the era of Napoleon. And the Haitian slaves rose up and they threw out the French from, from Haiti in the uprising. And Napoleon was engaged in the Napoleonic Wars with Europe at the time and basically gave the Haitian people a choice and said, you can either buy my freedom or I will send troops in to put you down. And so they ended up buying their freedom and they spent paying until 1947 for their freedom, paying France restitution. And so Haiti has always been a country that has been caught up in turmoil because the colonial powers could not have this black slave colony rising up and inspiring other slave colonies in the Caribbean and the Americas to rise up. So Haiti continues to remain in a place of uprising. There are no simple answers to what Haiti is going to become or what the answers to Haiti is going to be. But we as human beings, we have an obligation to our fellow humans to find a way, to find a peaceful resolution to how can we help this struggling island nation, this nation that has been impacted by poverty, this nation that has been impacted by climate, this nation that has been impacted by political discord and resulting in violence. Violence is not the answer, but when people become desperate, people become violent. When people become hungry, they become violent. When people lose hope, they become violent. I have seen this struggle growing up in South Africa. I disagree with violence. My mother was a pacifist. But we have to understand what brings people to the place of violence. So, whilst we accuse the gangs of being violent, we have to understand what is the suffering, what are the challenges. Having traveled and seen these things firsthand from Jacques, Darlene having traveled and experienced the lack of care and the lack of opportunities in Haiti, and having traveled and seen these components, I think we as a human race truly have to look and say, what is our role? If we want cheap clothing, if we want cheap food, on whose back is that? Right now, so much is on the back of the Haitian people. It is very easy to judge, but not know who or what you are judging. Let's open our minds and let's start to think about what can we really do to make a difference, to help starting with one nation, but not ending with helping one nation. We are multiple nations on one planet, in one universe, and we can do better than what we're doing currently.